Hey guys, it's the MMA Monster. This is actually my first legitimate video besides the channel intro. Anyway, I got some UFC news, some exciting stuff. I was so psyched. Vanderlei Silva legitimately he ran away from UFC drug officials, and they were forcing him to take a drug test, but he refused to. He literally ran away from his training camp so he wouldn't have to take the drug test. But they caught him and they counted as testing positive if he refuses to take it. So that means Chael Sonnen is out of a fight for UFC 175. No, not really. They said he's going to fight Vitor Belfort, the number 2 contender in the middleweight division. Now, on that same night, Chris Weidman's defending the UFC middleweight championship against Lyoto Machida. And the winner of that will face the winner between Chael Sonnen and Vitor Belfort for the middleweight championship. And I think that's great. I think it's awesome. I think it's perfect. Chael Sonnen brings a lot of money to the fights, and then if he wins, those are big money fights. If Vitor wins, that's also big money fights because he's just unstoppable at this point. And then, Weidman and Machida. Weidman's the one that beat Anderson Silva, and Lyoto Machida is probably the closest thing to Anderson Silva in the UFC. What else? Oh, hey, Gray Maynard. I don't think they actually put it on the fight card yet, but it is confirmed that Gray Maynard will be fighting. I don't know the guy's first name, but his last name is Kamos. Look it up. It's pretty easy to find. And then also, Jose Aldo is complaining about him not getting paid enough. Something about, like, he heard about how much other fighters are getting paid, and he's like, well, I'm one of the best fighters in the world, and I'm not getting paid that much. Also, TJ Dillashaw possibly having a rematch against Rafael Assunção. Assunção beat him in a split decision last time he fought. Assunção was supposed to fight Barao instead of Dillashaw, but then I think he might have had some drug issues, or it might have been an injury. I'm not 100% sure on it. Again, the best place to look for it is at UFC. Go to UFC.com and click on news. They have literally everything. And the new video game, EA Sports UFC, I've received information that there won't be any you're not allowed to create women fighters in the game. Now, that kind of made me mad because I really wanted to make my mother, my aunts, cousins, all that stuff. But I hope they put it in as DLC or something. And also, they do not have fighter share. Like, you can't share your fighters to other people because of copyright issues. So if you make, like, Hugh Jackman, you can't share them, like, all over the world because you can get sued for that. That will be all on EA. And MMA game, that's MMAGAME. I found out quite a bit from him on YouTube here. Please subscribe to him. He let me know a lot about, like, the fighter abilities in the game. I can't remember any of the abilities really, except for maybe, like, Fight Dirty, like Power Puncher, Power Kicker, stuff like that. If you subscribe to him, you can look at his videos and everything, and he has it in there. John Jones won't... Back to UFC news, sorry. John Jones doesn't want to talk about the Alexander Gustafsson fight. He won't talk about it at all. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe Jones is not comfortable with fighting Gustafsson again because of how close the fight was, and I personally think Gustafsson actually beat Jones. But, decision is a decision. Judges, I don't agree with half the judges in the business. But anyway, that's supposed to happen I believe August 26th they're aiming for. It might be more towards the middle of August, but all right. Last thing I'm going to talk about here because I don't have that much time left. Um, this this Saturday there are two fight cards. It's the UFC Berlin, which is only on Fight Pass, sadly, because I love Mark Munoz, and he's going to fight Gegard Mousasi. Um, that fight, I think Mark Munoz is going to grind it out to a decision against Gegard Mousasi. I think the first 3 rounds, Munoz is going to use his wrestling and his that big right hand to keep Gegard to keep him away. And then like the fourth and fifth round, I think Gegard's gonna win those rounds. But two rounds against 3 rounds, I just don't think it's gonna cut it. Then I believe it's later that night. It might be earlier. No, I think Stipe Miocic and Maldonado. They're gonna bang. I think it's gonna be a absolute slugfest. But I think it's gonna be when Stipe is losing the stand up battle. Stipe Miocic is going to take down Maldonado, and then eventually he's going to start striking with him in the later rounds when Maldonado's gassing. And I think Stipe is going to knock him out in the third round. I really do. I love Stipe. He's from Ohio, which is where I'm from. He's maybe a 15-minute drive from